nip it in the bud, we never relaxing. Outkast is
I miss those times a lot, but it's like life changes, life moves on.
So by 2004, Outkast had already won 6 Grammy Awards.
Congratulations. Thank you.
It looked like everything was perfect for them. They had achieved everything they had ever dreamed about. But something unexpected happened. Their most famous album, Speakerboxx, The Love Below, ended up being their last album together. They decided to go their separate ways. It wasn't because they hated each other. It was because they wanted different things in life and in music. At first, being different did not bother them, but fame made everything harder. Sometimes being famous really sucks. Outkast's story started when they were still teenagers. They met at Tri-Cities High School in East Point, Georgia. This was a special school for students who wanted to be in the arts. Right away, Andre and Big Boi stood out. Other kids noticed them because they dressed differently. They wore preppy clothes, which was not very common for kids in their neighborhood. But what truly brought them together was music. They loved hip-hop groups that were not afraid to be different, like De La Soul.
The guard lady streets wall to wall it go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo, you got
Brand Nubian.
I work hard for every penny that I make. Video and tape, LP and CD. If I for you feel
And a tribe called Quest.
But I couldn't drop dimes because you couldn't relate. You couldn't.
They also loved funky music from the 1970s, like George Clinton
Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Look but the dog.
and Sly and the Family Stone. Inspired by all this music, they started writing their own raps and making mixtapes. At first, they called themselves 2 Shades Deep, but later found out another group had already used that name. Then they tried the name The Misfits, but again, it was taken. They looked in the dictionary and found the word outcast. They liked it because it described how they felt, like outsiders. They decided to use the word, but kept the dictionary's phonetic spelling with a K. Outkast. Andre and Big Boi both admitted they were a little wild when they were young. Andre even dropped out of school before finishing. But they had big dreams and worked hard to break into the music world. Around this time, the Atlanta music scene was growing fast. Groups like TLC and Criss Cross were already becoming famous. But the real Atlanta hip-hop sound had not been discovered yet. Meanwhile, a group of young producers, Sleepy Brown, Ray Murray, and Rico Wade, formed a team called Organized Noise. They worked in a basement in Southeast Atlanta, making beats and writing music. They got noticed by LaFace Records and started producing for them. But they needed rappers to bring their beats to life. One day, Rico Wade was working in a department store. A girl told him she knew 2 young guys who could rap. That's how he met Andre and Big Boi. They were about 15 or 16 years old. When they rapped for Rico, he knew right away they were special. They had started recording music together. At first, it went well, but then they hit a roadblock. L.A. Reid, a big producer at the label, said he didn't think they had star power. He thought their lyrics were good, but felt they had no strong style. Andre and Big Boi felt crushed. They started to doubt themselves and wondered if they had made a mistake chasing music. Organized Noise pushed them to find their own unique sound. They worked hard and became better. When L.A. Reid heard them again, he finally saw what they had to offer. They sounded different. Not like New York rappers, not like Los Angeles rappers, but something fresh from the South. After that, the label signed them officially. L.A. Reid then told them the label wanted a Christmas song. Big Boi was confused and asked, "We're rappers. Why would we rap about Christmas?" So they made a song about how Christmas is different in poor neighborhoods. That song Players Ball became their first big hit on the radio.
Nothing much more, it's Outkast for the books. I thought you knew, so now you know, let's go.
After Players Ball blew up, they focused on making their first album. They called it Southern Playalistic Idyllic Music. They put their heart and soul into it. Every song showed their love for Atlanta, their love for music, and their life growing up in the South. And that is how Outkast, two young guys who once doubted themselves, became legends that even today's biggest rappers still look up to. A long time ago, most of the big names in hip-hop music came from the East Coast and West Coast.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop Dogg.
People who lived in the East and West talked almost the same way. That is why the music all sounded very similar. Then, something special happened. Outkast, a group from the South, started making music that sounded very different. Their style stood out right away. It caught a lot of people's attention because it was new and fresh. When Outkast released their first album, it was loved by both music critics and fans. Everyone liked how different it sounded. This album marked the start of Southern hip-hop. Before Outkast, people did not take rap music from the South seriously. Outkast was the first group from the South to break into the hip-hop world. They opened the door for many other Southern rappers who came after them. Just like the Beatles started the British invasion in music, Outkast put Atlanta on the map for hip-hop. Many people say that Outkast is one of the most important hip-hop groups since NWA.
What's up?
Tell them where you're from.
Straight out of Compton. Another crazy.
In 1995, the Source Awards showed how much people looked down on Southern rap. At that time, people from New York made fun of Southern rap. Radio hosts said Southern rappers sounded country and said they would not play their music. This made the Southern rappers very upset. When Outkast won Best New Rap Group at the Source Awards, Big Boi tried to stay calm. He thanked everyone and said, "Goody mob in the house, you know what I'm saying? Want to say, what's up to New York?" He was trying to be polite even though he was upset. But Andre 3000 was not so calm. He got emotional and spoke out. He said, "I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying, closed-minded folks. It's like we got a demo tape and nobody wants to hear it. But it's like this. The South got something to say. That's all I got to say."
But it's like this though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say, that's all.
After he spoke, many people clapped and cheered. Big Boi and Andre later said that back then, New York didn't care about what they were doing. Big Boi said in 1996, "If you weren't from New York, they didn't care. But we put all our time and effort into making our albums, and it didn't make sense for them to act like that."
See, Andre, Big Boi, dudes who were from right here, our area, man, Southside, East Point, and get up there, man, and say the South got something to say, man, it turned to everybody.
Outkast's second album was called ATLiens. This was their big breakthrough. The name ATLiens was a mix of two words, ATL, short for Atlanta, and aliens. They used this name to show that they felt different from everyone else, but still proud of their home city. The album showed a lot of important parts of rap that we still hear today. They used strong beats called trap beats, but back then, the sound was not mixed as perfectly as it is today. They also used old songs called samples and changed them in creative ways. Outkast started producing some of their own songs. On this album, they made 5 of the 15 songs by themselves, including the songs ATLiens, and Elevators, Me and You. Outkast also made music videos that were very creative and deep in meaning. For example, Andre explained that the Elevators video was full of symbols. The scenes where they walked through a jungle showed that they were on a journey. Scenes where they meditated showed that they were trying to find peace inside themselves. Big Boi said the video also showed that they were growing and reaching a higher level in their music and in life. It became clear that Outkast was changing when Andre decided to change his life. One day, he told his friends that he was done with drinking, smoking weed, and eating meat. He wanted to live a clean life. He also started growing his hair long, wearing turbans, and getting into spiritualism. Spiritualism is the belief that there is life after death and that people can talk to spirits through special people called mediums. Later, Andre met a woman named Erykah Badu. She was also starting her music career and believed in healthy living and vegetarian food. They met at a club in New York. Erykah was brave and different, and Andre liked that about her. They fell in love, and later, Erykah became pregnant. After the birth of their son, Andre thought even more about how to live a better life. During this time, Andre and Big Boi started to grow apart. They did not spend much time together anymore. They had different interests. Big Boi still liked going to parties, but Andre did not. They even had separate tour buses. On Big Boi's bus, people could smoke weed. On Andre's bus, smoking was not allowed. It was easy to guess who was on which bus. Big Boi could not believe that Andre had changed so much. Andre even stopped wearing turbans and started dressing in bright, strange clothes. He sometimes wore ski boots and a platinum wig. Andre said he wanted to dress like music because music is colorful and beautiful. Because of his new style, many people thought Andre had gone crazy. Some even questioned his sexuality. But Andre did not care what people thought. Their next album was called Aquemini. The name came from their zodiac signs.
Nothing is for show, nothing is for certain. None lasts forever, but until they close.
Andre was an Aquarius and Big Boi was a Gemini. They put their signs together to show that even though they were different, they were still united. Aquemini showed that they had total freedom to be who they wanted to be, but still stayed connected to their southern roots. They also took more control over their music. Nearly every member of their group, called the Dungeon Family, helped with the album, but Outkast led the way more than ever before. Big Boi's rapping got even smoother and stronger. Andre also became a great music producer. One of the songs on that album was named Rosa Parks. The song quickly became very popular with their fans. But even though the song had Rosa Parks' name in the title, it was not really about her. It was more about the struggles of being less popular in the music world. Even so, the use of her name caused a lot of problems. Rosa Parks was a very important figure in American history. She was known for standing up against unfair laws that separated black and white people. So, when she heard about the song, she and her lawyers felt that Outkast had used her name without asking, and they wanted something to be done about it. In the song, there was one part that connected to Rosa Parks' real story. Big Boi, one of the Outkast members, rapped, "Aha, hush that fuss. Everybody move to the back of the bus." These words clearly pointed to Rosa's brave act back in 1955. That was when she refused to give up her seat to a white man on a bus in Alabama. Her action helped spark the civil rights movement. Because of this, her lawyers felt that Outkast used her history to make money. They said it was not right to use her name in a song without getting her permission first. Even though the rest of the song was not really about her, the lawyers believed her name was used to get attention and sell more records. In March 1999, Rosa Parks' lawyer, Gregory J. Reed, filed a lawsuit against LaFace Records, the company that Outkast worked with. They said Outkast should not have used Rosa's name without asking. However, later that year, the court dismissed the lawsuit. This meant the court said Outkast had the right to name their song Rosa Parks. Gregory Reed was not happy about this. He decided to work with another famous lawyer, Johnny Cochran, to appeal the decision. They tried again to get the court to agree with them, but the court still ruled in Outkast's favor. They said the group had the freedom to use names in their songs. Gregory Reed did not give up. In August 2004, he filed a new lawsuit. This time, he not only went after Outkast and their label, but also the stores that sold the album. He asked for $5 million in damages. The case started all over again. Around this time, people learned that Rosa Parks had been battling dementia since 2002. Dementia is a serious illness that affects memory and thinking. Because of this, many people, including her family, started questioning whether Rosa Parks truly wanted to sue Outkast or if others were using her for money. During a 2005 interview with Billboard, Rosa's niece, Rhea McCauley, shared her feelings. She said that she did not believe her aunt would have wanted to hurt young artists like Outkast. Rhea said, "I'm not a doctor, but I know my auntie would never ever go to this length to hurt some young artists trying to make it in the world." She also said the family was afraid that strangers were trying to take advantage of Rosa during her final days. They worried that people around her were using her name and fame to get rich, especially since Rosa was very sick and could not make decisions like she used to. Finally, on April 15, 2005, Outkast and Rosa Parks' team reached a settlement. They agreed to end the case without saying anyone was wrong. Outkast's label agreed to work with the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development. They also paid an undisclosed amount of money, meaning they did not tell the public how much money was given. Rosa Parks passed away a few months later, on October 24, 2005, at the age of 92. She left behind a legacy of bravery, strength, and hope. Years later, in 2010, members of Outkast talked about the lawsuit during an interview with Creative Loafing. Andre said that they did not use Rosa Parks' name to sell records. He said that was never their intention. He felt it was misunderstood. Neil H. Pogue, an engineer who worked on the song, agreed. He said that Rosa Parks was likely misled by the people around her. He believed that her handlers pushed her into suing because they wanted money. He explained that Outkast did not mean any harm. They thought the song was a kind of tribute to Rosa Parks. Another member of the team, Mr. DJ, also agreed. He said they never even thought of the song as being disrespectful to Rosa Parks. It was a shock to them when they first heard about the lawsuit. In 2003, Outkast gave the world something very special. They released Speakerboxxx The Love Below, and it was not just one album, it was really two albums in one. Big Boi made Speakerboxxx with his own style.
Ready for action, nip it in the bud, we never relaxing. Outkast is up.
And Andre 3000 made The Love Below with a very different style.
She's mighty fine, but mighty fine, only got you somewhere.
It was a lot of music all at once. 40 songs and about 135 minutes long. Fans were excited because they got to hear two different sides of Outkast. The album was a huge success. It stayed at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart for 7 weeks. It sold over 11 million copies all around the world. At the 2004 Grammy Awards, Outkast had a big night. They won 3 awards, including the most important one, Album of the Year. Even though the album was a big success, people started talking. Many fans noticed that Big Boi and Andre 3000 made their own separate albums instead of working together like before. This made people wonder if Outkast was breaking up. Even though there was no big fight and no official breakup, there were lots of rumors. People talked a lot about whether the duo had creative differences. It was not a real controversy, but fans felt worried that their favorite group might not be the same anymore. When it came to performances, Outkast gave fans even more to love. At the 2004 Grammy Awards, Big Boi performed The Way You Move, with music legends like George Clinton and Earth, Wind and Fire. Later that night, Andre 3000 performed Hey Ya, with a lot of energy and excitement. Their performances made the night unforgettable, and winning Album of the Year made it even more special. In May 2013, Andre 3000's mother, Sharon Benjamin Hodo, passed away. It was a very sad time for Andre because she died on his birthday, May 27th. She died peacefully in her sleep at her home in Rex, Georgia. She was only 58 years old. A representative for Andre shared the news and said the family was very sad, but thankful for the support they were getting from friends and fans. Sharon Benjamin Hodo was not just Andre's mother. She also helped a lot of children who did not have much. She started a program called the Starlight Camp, which helped underprivileged kids. The camp was part of the New Morning Light Missionary Baptist Church, where her husband, Robert Hodo, was the pastor. The family asked that instead of sending flowers, people could donate money to help the Starlight Camp continue helping children. After his mother's death, Andre 3000 found it very hard to deal with the sadness. He talked about his feelings when he was promoting Outkast's 20th anniversary tour in 2014. Losing his mother made him feel very emotional and changed his life in many ways. At that time, Andre was 38 years old and already known for his music and acting talents. Behind the bright clothes and big smiles, Andre struggled with his mental health. After Outkast became very famous, Andre started feeling lost. He said in interviews that he often felt like he did not fit in with the music world anymore. He sometimes had bad anxiety and sadness. There were days he could not even make music because he felt so blocked inside. Andre was honest about this in interviews. He wanted people to know that fame does not solve everything. Even when you have success, you can still feel alone and unsure. His struggles showed that it was okay for men, even famous ones, to talk about feelings and mental health. Big Boi had his own struggles too. In 2011, Big Boi got into trouble with the law. He was arrested at a Miami port for having drugs like ecstasy, MDMA, and Viagra without a doctor's note. He was not kept in jail for long. He paid money to get out and later made a deal with the court. As part of the deal, he agreed to attend drug counseling. This helped him avoid bigger trouble. The incident made headlines, but Big Boi took responsibility for it and moved forward with his life. When it came to politics, Big Boi confused many fans. Sometimes people tried to guess what political side he supported, but Big Boi did not make it clear. In interviews, he often gave answers that were not simple to understand. This caused debates because some people thought he supported certain ideas when he actually stayed away from picking sides. Big Boi liked to think for himself rather than follow any group fully. Big Boi also shared very personal parts of his life. He talked about how losing his father changed him. His father's death made him think more deeply about life. In some songs and interviews, Big Boi said his dad was a big influence. His father's memory helped guide him even after he passed away. Another hard time for Big Boi was when his son, Cross, was born with a heart problem. Cross had to go through many surgeries when he was very little. Big Boi said that watching his son go through so much pain broke his heart. It made him a stronger father and deepened his faith. He realized how important it was to be there for his family no matter what. In 2022, Big Boi filed for divorce from his wife, Shirlita Patton. They had been married for 20 years. Big Boi said that their marriage could not be fixed anymore. Even though it was sad, they both agreed to end things peacefully. They focused on keeping their family strong for the sake of their children. After so many years together, it was a big change, but both tried to handle it with respect